Welcome to this edition of the Intermodal Logistics Podcast. I'm Kevin Baxter, and we are at IANA's Intermodal EXPO in Long Beach, California. And I'm joined by another Kevin. So this is like a Kevin Squared podcast.
It is.
And it's Kevin Lhotak, the president of Reliable Transportation Specialist. Kevin, thanks very much for taking the time to join the podcast.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And so I've asked this of a few of our guests. So how many IANA EXPOs is this for you now?
I go all the way back to the Georgia Freight Bureau before IANA was around. So this is probably my 24th, 25th. We're the longest on the expo floor for a drayman, for a motor carrier. So I believe this is our 23rd or 24th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you are set up on the floor for the exhibit hall.
Yep.
So backing up a little bit then, we always like to ask, and that was sort of a little hint there, but I always like to ask a little bit more about your background of the guest and what you do with your company.
Sure. My dad and I started a business April 1st, 1986. Prior to that, I was going to college and started working in the transportation industry to pay for college, right? Pay for the bills. And my dad was always in trucking, and it got in my blood. So on April 1st, 1986, my dad was working for another company and decided to start his own. And I was just finishing up my automotive engineering at Motec Automotive. And he said, I know they're going to offer you a job, but would you want to come work with me and start a company? And I had been doing intermodal back in the days. I'm going to age myself now. Back in the days when I first started in intermodal, there were only 45-foot vans. There wasn't any stack containers. There wasn't 48s or even 53s. So today, I believe I still made the right decision. I went with my dad and we started it. And,
you're still doing it.
And we're still
must
doing
have done
it
something right there.
Next year is our 40th anniversary. So yeah, we're proud of that.
And so you're based out of Chicago, right?
Yeah, Chesterton, Indiana. It's a small suburb. We call it a suburb of Chicago. Yeah. We're at the southernmost tip of Lake Michigan. So we're about 45 minutes from Chicago.
Now we're based in Indianapolis. So something I didn't know, I only moved to Indianapolis about 8 years ago. I did not know how nice the beaches along Lake Michigan in that area are.
It is the latest.
Shocking, I would say.
It's the latest national lakeshore. That a few years ago, I can't remember, maybe 5 years ago, the National Lakeshore took over. It was state-owned, and now it's a national lakefront. No, it's nice up there.
So tell us, obviously that's a location. The Chicago area is kind of big in intermodal. So
it's large.
So tell us what your company does.
So we're an intermodal drayage carrier. Like I said, been doing it for almost 40 years. We have offices in Chesterton, which takes care of the Chicago corridor. We also service the Detroit corridor, Columbus, Ohio, Savannah, Atlanta. And during COVID, we haven't opened it back up yet. Charleston was one of our offices, but we'll be probably looking at that soon. So we consider ourselves Midwest and then the Southeast.
So dray providers are sort of all different shapes and sizes, really, right? So where would that put you in terms of size of a provider?
Well, I'm no large guy, and I'm not a small guy. We operate with all the offices I just mentioned. We operate somewhere around 125, 130 units, and we utilize independent contractors as our base for our drivers. We do not own any company tractors. We have chassis and other things that we own, but we do not own any tractors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So drayage obviously is there. There's the two big pieces of the intermodal journey, or I guess if you'd say three at the beginning and the end. But obviously the long haul rail is the big one that people associate with intermodal. But I mean, drayage is vital to connect the dots there on both ends.
Absolutely, yeah. We're either in the Chicagoland area, as an example, we're either the pickup carrier, where we're picking up stuff that may be going to export, maybe going to Dallas, Texas, might be going to California, might be going to Mexico. We have huge Mexico business with the automotive that we do, and that goes to a rail and then gets delivered to the final destination. And then another drayage carrier picks it up there and takes it to its final destination. So anytime you're using rail, you're always going to have usually at least two drayage companies, one on the front end, one on the back end.
Hmm.
And then vice versa. We get a lot of freight from California, from Texas, from Portland, Seattle area that come in on the trains into Chicago. And then we're the pickup carrier. We're the actual final delivery carrier. So
Hmm.
we pick it up from the rail, deliver it to its destination.
So when you're doing these connections, how does it work in terms of how you work with companies to become part of that network of dray carriers when they're booking a load going
So a
whatever
lot of
direction?
it, I would say probably 15, 20 years ago, a lot of it was service based and loyalty. I think
Hmm.
now, because of our current economy, we're probably more rate driven. Service is you still have to service the customer,
Yeah.
but I think the rates probably become more important than service for some customers. So a lot of times, well, places like this, IANA at the expo, you can show what services you can provide. It's a meet and greet of your existing salespeople, but it also is new people that
Hmm.
are people changing the industry every day.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, my best, whether I do sales calls, I have a sales team, whether they're out doing sales calls, I find it most appreciative when a customer says, I was recommended to call you
Hmm.
by so and so.
Yeah.
Never done a sales call on that person, didn't even know who their company was. So that means we're doing something right.
Hmm.
So, getting involved in organizations like IANA and different organizations, get your name out there, and then you got to prove yourself as a drayage carrier. You can't just take 5 loads, deliver one, and say, I'm not worried about the other 4.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's communication, a lot of it's networking
Hmm.
by far.
Yeah, and I mean that's probably why you've been coming here for as long as you have, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Uh, I've noticed as well. I mean, this industry is very relationship based, and so how important is that to not only get in front of people, and you mentioned prove yourself as well, because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But how important is that, and maybe even underlined since COVID, where you had the situation for a few years where there wasn't something like this happening.
Yeah. It was very different for me. I'm old school. I'm a look you in the eye handshake guy. My word's my word, and it was different with Zoom and team meetings and things to that aspect. It was the only time in the history of our existence of reliable transportation that somebody referred to myself and our company as essential.
Hmm.
Right? I mean, we were
Yeah,
essential
that's
post
right.
COVID, and during COVID. Our I have great employees. We separated 10, 12 feet apart. We came into work every day. There was no
Yeah.
working from home.
No,
There
you
was
can't. You
none of
can't
that.
do that remote.
Yeah. So, but it's essential. It's essential to have that relationship. It's also trust. I think you have to earn. It's trust isn't given. You have to earn it, and you earn it by accepting loads, doing what you say, follow through, communicate, and execute. And if you can do that, and you do it well at a reasonable price, the word's going to get out, and it's also going to, if you're working with ABC company, they're going to have more freight, right? And they're going to think of you. So there's all that aspects. We're still service orientated.
Mhm.
I won't fall victim to the rate game. Granted, we have to lower our rates to be competitive, but we still provide the customer with service and communication and execution. And if we can't do that, shame on us.
Well, the market's always so cyclical anyway. I mean,
It is.
the service is what keeps you there down the road. I mean, you can go low on the rates, and then when the rates have to come up, inevitably, if the service wasn't there when they were low, then they're probably not coming back to you.
Exactly.
So, what would you say is a big challenge facing your industry right now, as dray carriers? I mean, you mentioned the independent contractor model. That's something that's been out there a bit in some states and in the national conversation as well. Is that one of the big ones, or?
It has been. I'm not so sure it's going to be with the current administration. I think they're very pro independent contractor. Some of the things happening on the Hill, changing the definition of an independent contractor,
Yeah.
and those types of things. That was always probably number one. That's my business. And if I lost 125 independent contractors, my dad had a saying, without trucks, you don't have a trucking company, right? And if they had to become employees overnight, and they don't want to be.
Right.
I've talked to all of them. They don't want to be. They want their independence. They want to be able to select what loads they take, when they take it, go on vacations. I think the biggest thing right now is kind of a combination of, it's probably the economy. And when I say the economy, freight levels are down,
Right.
rate structures are down, costs are up. Insurance costs are astronomical. Whether it's healthcare or auto liability, general liability. So all your costs are going up, your rates are going down, and there's got to be a happy medium. And the freight levels are not there, right? I mean, for us right now, if somebody came to me and said, I have 500 loads a month, that would not be a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
Post-COVID, end of 2020, 2021, that would be a problem because of capacity. Right, we're in a supply and demand. We're overcapacitated right now in our industry. So many people jumped in when the spot market was high,
Right.
and they're holding on. And I mean, you live by the spot market, you die by it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good filler. We use it for filler. We use spot market, but I think that's probably the economy. The word tariffs are scaring people right now. I think there's uncertainty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you have low rates, high costs, and the industry you're in has a high supply and low demand, not the
best
ultimate
combination.
situation to be in, right?
Yeah, I think that's the opposite of what you want, right?
Yeah.
So for dray carriers, we think of like the ideal distance of a dray. What would you say is the ideal distance, and maybe what's the most surprising length that still kind of works for people?
We try to stay, and some of it depends on what corridor you're in. Mm-hmm. Chicago, 6 major Class A railroads, right? I mean, multiple rails everywhere. Detroit only having 2 or 3 major railroads. It depends where you're at. Because of congestion, because of traffic, my Savannah terminal, they usually can get in and out of the port, and they can, with the time frame drivers have, they can run 280, 290 miles one way and still make it back. Our goal as a drayage carrier today is to get our guys and gals home every night, right? Okay. That's what they want. They want to take their 10-hour break at home. Mm-hmm. And that's our goal, right? Very few sleep, even though a lot of them have sleeper tractors with sleepers in them, very few use them. Mm-hmm. Few do. So out of Chicago, we try to get to about that 275, 280 mark. When you start getting past 275, one flat tire, one, whatever, a delay, an accident on I-94 corridor can keep that driver from being able to deliver, unload, reload if they have to, and come back. And then they end up getting stuck in their tractor. So a lot of independent contractors, a lot of companies, whether you run company trucks or independent contractors, probably from the rails and ports they service, probably don't go past 270, 275, just in case that thing happens, that flat tire, that breakdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that you called it the 10-hour break at home.
10-hour break.
That's just going home for most people. Yeah. So I talked about the biggest challenge. What do you see as like the biggest opportunity going forward? Obviously, one opportunity is just the economy flipping and going the other direction.
I think people that can survive what we're going through right now, and we've seen in the industry, good friends of mine, personal friends, have to close their companies.
Yeah.
And depending on what market you're in, I think that the people that are truly in it for the right reasons and can hang in there and get past this are going to succeed and succeed well. I think there's people in the industry in for the wrong reasons. And so we'll see if they succeed or not. But I think if they can be diligent, and I've been saying this, Kevin, I've been saying this since 2023. If 6 months from now we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, the light hasn't come since probably mid 23.
Yeah.
It's been very stagnant, very, and it's who you align yourselves with, right? It's good customers that pay you promptly, customers that understand what you have to go through at the different CYs, rails, ports, in some instances, and that want to work with you. There's some customers out there that will use you for one load and you'll never hear from them again because they needed you. So I think if people are diligent right now and they can really hold on and get by, I don't know what that time frame is. I'm hoping middle of next year.
Yeah.
But I think if we get the use of the word tariff less and maybe some relief in interest rates, at least we should stabilize.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kevin, thank you very much for taking the time. Tell folks where they can learn more about your company.
Website, www.reliabletrans.com. And then that has a link to all of our offices, to our general rate area. If people needed a rate or just wanted to find out about our company. It even has a section there for the independent contractors that may want to sign on and join us.
Great. Kevin, thank you very much.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. Thanks. And we appreciate you watching and listening to this edition of the Intermodal Logistics Podcast. Please do rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. Drop us a comment and feel free to email us at podcast@intechlogistics.com. You can also visit our website, www.intechlogistics.com, for more about the company. And again, for Kevin Lhotak, I'm Kevin Baxter. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.